They have the steering wheel. They have the gears. They have the clutch. They have the brake. They decide the direction also. Only the make of tires, whether MRF or CH, is done by the LG. And if still you cannot drive, then there is something seriously wrong with your driving ability. I'm
Because ultimately you say
and another
appraisal is done by the chief minister.
No, nothing inconvenient will come.
No,
You can sit.
I'm saying nothing. I'm just.
No, you
hearing. You are the one who's
got up.
speaking.
But another thing. But I come to another limb of my submission. Another indication that persons working in the union territory are working in the affairs of the union. So now administrative tribunal.
I'm sorry, I'm eating into your time, but there's only one aspect, that is 309 gives power to the union government to regulate all terms and conditions of service of officers who are appointed in connection with the affairs of the union. Could it possibly be that, I mean, your argument would be that affairs of the union in Article 309 would mean the entirety of the affairs of the union territory, right? Including all services. The other countervailing argument could be that affairs of the union in Article 309 should include those matters which are entrusted to the union by 239 AA. One way of looking at it is, look, the entirety of the canvas of a union territory of Delhi, notwithstanding 239 AA, is an affair of the union, because the union has jurisdiction on list 1, list 2, and list 3.
Therefore.
But that is subject again, subject.
Therefore,
it's a little bit.
your lordships have in mind.
309 also subject.
Lord, the lordships have in mind, Lord, the position, Lord, which is
Takes us to
portrayed. Let me demolish, my Lord, fully crafted perception that we have no power. Let me demolish that. Then your lordships may examine, my Lord, these legal provisions in that context.
Yes.
But para 27. The Administrative Tribunal Act is enacted in exercise of the powers under Article 323A of the Constitution. The said article provides that the Parliament may make law constituting tribunals of disputes and complaints with respect to recruitment and conditions of service of persons appointed to public services and posts in connection with the affairs of the union and another affairs of the state. Now, my lords, may kindly come to section 14 of the Administrative Tribunals. Jurisdiction, powers and authority of Central Administrative Tribunal. The lordships have, my lord? Page 11. Kindly, my lord, directly come to page 12, the explanation. For those who are acting or functioning in the affairs of the union, there is a Central Administrative Tribunal. For those who are in the state, there is a State Administrative Tribunal. Page 12, explanation. For the removal of doubts, it is hereby declared that reference to union in this subsection shall be construed as including reference also to a union territory. Even their service disputes go before the Central Administrative Tribunal dealing with officers working in the affairs of the union and not, my lord, anywhere else. That's, my lord, the purpose. Now, my lord, establishment of High Court of Delhi. Bottom of page 12.
Yes.
Page 13. There is yet another clear indication that the Constitution treats union territory and UPSC on one hand and the state and state public service commission on the other. Article 241, which is a part of part 8, that is under the heading union territories, It is under this provision that Parliament has made Delhi High Court Act 1966. Article 219 read with Section 4 of the Delhi High Court Act replaces the word governor with lieutenant governor. Wherever the Parliament wanted, the Parliament has made a provision for governor and lieutenant governor. Please, now, my lord, kindly directly come to page 15. And this is, my lord, the heart of the matter, which which would be troubling your lordship's conscience also, because a very well orchestrated perception is that we don't have any power. What do we do? My learned friend argued that we don't have steering wheel, we don't have gears in our hands, we don't have brake, we don't have clutch. Now kindly see, my lord, in that context, and I'll answer, my lord, that question. At the outset, my lord, para 39, and this is, my lord, kindly see, my lord, there are two types of control. My lord, what the central government is claiming is control for recruitment, appointment and posting. Nothing else. Rest governance is with the elected wing. And I'll show that. Kindly see. At the outset, it may be pointed out that there is a clear distinction of legislative powers and consequent administrative powers with regard to Union of India and NCT of Delhi. They are functional control and administrative control. Functional control means right to have steering wheel, right to have gears, right to have brake, right to have clutch under their control. So far as the functional control is concerned, it signifies the control of an elected body in its functioning through the officers and employees working in the affairs of the union. That is, day-to-day functioning under the administrative control and supervision of the minister of the concerned department, the Honorable Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers, that is elected wing. Lord, as my Lord, the Chief Justice of India, Lord, suggested, even in those cases where it is the central end, suppose under 239AA, they are entitled, they can function. The officers will be answerable to the minister, the Honorable Chief Minister, and the Council of Ministers, not to anybody else. Please, so far as the administrative control is concerned, it would signify the decision as to whom to be posted in affairs of the NCT of Delhi, in which position and post such officers or employees would be posted, transfers to be effected and disciplinary action to be taken. This control is absolutely necessary since Delhi is the capital and the central control is not only desirable but constitutionally permitted without in any way interfering with the absolute functional control of the elected wing. In case of NCT of Delhi, as explained hereunder in detail, the functional control vests in the elected wing and all officers, employees are required to function under the administrative control and supervision of the elected wing and implementing the programs and policies of the elected wing, which would reflect the wish and will of the electorate, while the administrative control is vested both constitutionally and other in the president and under the order of the president. Kindly allow me to mail, who exercises the same through the lieutenant governor. So far as the control is concerned, almost a fiction is created by way of a public perception that they have absolutely no control of the elected government over the officers and employees working in GNCPD. This fictional perception and far from truth, which will become evident from the following paragraphs. Lord, kindly see. In conformity, Lord, your lordship can skip 44. Lord, I'm not taking your lordship's time. Crucial is 45 onwards.
Mr. Mehta, to be on the absolute lighter side, nothing to do. When you said that functional powers and the administrative powers and the driving seat, correct, clutch, everything is with them. But according to them, correct, the direction, like GPS, correct, the direction where to go, left side, it is with the central government.
Lord, after reading, Lord,
that is what, this is a distinction between the administrative power and the functional power.
No.
Correct?
I Lord, respect.
Suppose according to them, if they want to go straight, they cannot go because of the administrative power, because the direction will be go right side or left side.
Lord, after going through this,
absolute lighter, nothing.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's good, Lord, to have lighter moments. Lord, after going through this, I can say this, Lord, in this very simile, Dr. Singhvi said, they have the steering wheel, they have the gears, they have the clutch, they have the brake, they decide the direction also. Only the make of tires, whether MRF or CEAT, is done by the LG. And if still you cannot drive, then there is something seriously wrong with your driving ability, not with selection of tires.
But you know, Mr. Mehta, actually, see, as we know in the States, for instance, the most important part is where do you post an officer, right? Whether an officer will be in Secretary Finance, Secretary Home, Secretary Education, Secretary Environment, Secretary Youth Affairs or Sports.
Etc.
So what you are saying is that, look, we will post you as Secretary Finance. Once you are posted as Secretary Finance, you will act under the jurisdiction of the Minister of Finance. We will post you as Secretary Education. Then you will be reportable to. You will report only to the Secretary, to the Minister for Education and the Delhi government. But suppose they find that somebody is not really up to, not functioning as effectively as in that particular role. Your conditions, of course, Dr. Singhvi also conceded that we are not disciplinary jurisdiction. But they cannot even switch officers.
They can. I'll answer your Lordship's question. And my Lord, kindly park that question till your Lordship goes through this. I'm saying this with a sense of responsibility. They can always say that this man is not fit for the health ministry, post it in industries ministry. They have to send a letter through LG to the MHA, and it is never refused.
That's a matter of, that's a matter of accommodation in practice.
Kindly, my Lord,
Otherwise,
kindly
look at it from
that
this
question. Kindly park.
An officer knows that, well, I cannot be moved out from this position at all. I cannot be moved out as an excise commissioner, however I do, unless I have a green signal from MHA.
Kindly, my Lord, kindly park that.
Whatever I do as an excise commissioner, whatever I do as a Secretary Education,
unfortunately,
unless I have the green signal, I will never be moved out.
Unfortunately,
will that not dilute even the functional control? That's the point. Yes, recruitment, disciplinary control. You're right, absolutely. Dr. Singhvi, in fact, didn't go as far as that when he made a very nuanced.
I hope, my Lord, these are tentative observations.
Question is about posting. You see that?
Lord, sometimes a wrong perception repeated and carefully orchestrated through various mediums, Lord, have the tendency of entering our minds. Lord, the following paragraphs.
All right, quickly, let's read it.
Are devoted
read para 45.
And, my Lord, why this is relevant and why your Lordship may park that, my Lord, apprehension, tentative apprehension, till your Lordship, my Lord, goes through.
All right, let's quickly read that para 40.
First, all India service officers, delic officers, and all other officers working for GNCTD are under the functional control of Minister concerned, the Honorable Chief Minister and GNCTD, and Council of Ministers as pointed out hereunder. Secondly, for any officer, the most important element of his service is career progression in terms of promotion, which is based upon the annual performance appraisal report. Please don't make any conclusion till I take your Lordship through this fully. Any adverse entry in APA, that is annual performance appraisal, is capable of spoiling his chances of promotion and his future career progression. So far as all senior and middle level officers are concerned, who are under the functional control of the elected government and through whom the will and wish of the electorate in terms of the programs and policies of the governments are to be implemented, their APAR are under direction, control of the Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, either as reporting authority, reviewing authority, or accepting authority. In other words, depending upon the functions of each senior level and middle level officers under the supervision and control of the ministers of each department, which includes right from secretary, chief secretary, etc., right from secretary downwards. The Honorable Chief Minister can give suitable grades which will have a direct bearing on his future career progression. APAR consists of annual work plan to be decided twice a year. Now, this answers your Lordship's question. That is, once at the start of the financial year, and secondly, by way of a mid-year review. The assessment of officers in APAR is done on following attributes: This the elected wing does. Assessment of work output. The Lord have said efficiency. This man should be efficient in this field and not in that field. Kindly see, it consists of following sub-attributes. Accomplishment of planned work, quality of output, accomplishment of exceptional work or unforeseen task performance. Then second, the 30% weightage, assessment of personal attributes. It consists of following sub-attributes: attitude to work, sense of responsibility, overall bearing and personality, emotional stability, communication skills, moral courage and willingness to take a professional stand, leadership qualities, captaincy to work in time limit, capacity to work in time limit. Then third, 30%, assessment of functional competency. It consists of following sub-attributes: knowledge of laws, rules, procedures, IT skills, and awareness of local norms in the relevant area. Strategic planning ability, decision-making ability, initiative, coordination ability, ability to motivate and develop subordinates or work in a team. All these attributes are decided and gradation is given by the Honorable Chief Minister. Kindly report further. It is submitted that Honorable CM appraised the performance of officers of GNCTD through the mechanism of APAR, wherein the performance of officers of the GNCTD is evaluated by the CM, i.e. elected government, on a scale of 0, that is worst, to 10, best. And also a pen picture on conduct of these officers are recorded in writing by the Honorable CM in these APARs. I, as an officer, cannot say that I owe my allegiance to MHA. I will not take orders from you because he is the one who is writing my annual performance appraisal reports. In the last 3 years, that is 2019-20, 2021, 21-22, the Honorable CM had appreciated the work of all IAS officers, principal secretaries, and heads of the department working in GNCTD and accorded them outstanding rating. Grading from 8 and above is outstanding, not out of 10. To all officers except one officer wherein very good grading was given to such officer for the year 2019 to 20. Even this officer has been graded as an outstanding officer for the year 2021 and 21-22 by the Honorable CM. Details of Honorable CM. Details of which are mentioned in a, kindly come to page 43. For my satisfaction, please come to page 43. But if I am not working satisfactorily, if I am not fit for that particular post, if I am not listening to the ministers, if I am not discharging my functions properly, if I say that I owe my allegiance somewhere else, then it directly reflects on my APR, which is not to be written by the central government or even by the LG. Kindly see page 43. I will not read everything, just have a glance. Mr. So-and-so, ACS power, grading 10 out of 10. So-and-so, ACS, UD and director, local bodies, 10 out of 10. Then 9, 9.5, 8, 9.50, 9.80, 8.50, etc., etc. Not everyone. Kindly come to 45. Look, this is the next year, 2021. These are the people working under their supervision, under their control, under their administration, discharging the duties given by them, and they judge them. Please see 9, 9.5, 9.5, 8.
Between pleadings and written submissions seems to have been obliterated. My learned friends repeated saying about not going into facts seems to have been obliterated.
No, this is
submissions are having facts, no pleadings, and your lordship is to be drawn in, whether in a lighter vein, not so light vein. Our allegation is central government is trying to swallow our powers. What is happening today is my entire morning time is going to be swallowed by my learned.
Lord, I would, my lord, give one full, many credits to Dr. Singhvi, but today, right now, one credit, he interjected at a right time from his point of view. This was the time where he should have interjected and derailed the argument. I refuse to be derailed.
Solicitor, I remember one day when Dr. Singhvi, with his characteristic flourish, came in the morning for mentioning matters before Justice Narasimha and me and said, I'm filing an affidavit. Please ask the solicitor.
Your lordship refused.
We refused that. We said, we're not going to go into it.
And repeatedly, he's protesting that I will not do it.
All right, but we are not going to be impacted by that. He just sort of said that
That's all right.
individual
Well,
officers-
also is taken.
Submission.
How much
Going to
time will be
individual
taken?
gradings and
Lordship-
They can refuse that this is a false
Thursday.
figure.
But Mr. Solicitor, we got your basic, we'll look at it at a doctrinal level, that the APARs are written by the Chief Minister. You may make that limited point. Let's not go into.
Kindly, my lord, come to page,
Anyway, you want to point out.
Because then we
that
can have a whole
apprehension-
lot of material
apprehension-
rejoined to
Yeah,
show the-
your submission is that apprehension is not well founded, correct? That though officers are not properly working, correct, nothing can be done. That is what your submission.
yes, I'm respectful, I mean, I'm
Because
grateful.
ultimately you say
And
the
another
appraisal is done by the Chief Minister.
No, nothing
That point we
inconvenient
make.
will come.
No
You
difficulty.
can sit
I'm
down.
saying nothing, I'm just.
No, you
Yeah,
rightly
you're the one who's
got up.
speaking.
Lord, another thing. Lord, I'm answering your lordship's apprehension that what if the person is not fit for that job? Then, my lord, kindly see page 47. This is not facts. This is a format, standard format. Standard format. What is the matter in which, my lord, what are the issues on which he is to be judged by the,
In the APRs, right? Annual performance. All right, now let's go on to the next point, Mr.
that not
Now-
fit, not.
All right, we'll now go
not
on to
fit for
para-
this job,
we've got-
etc., not competent.
Now let's read para 59. That's the next point. I think this point we have covered now.
Yes.
Para 59, Constitution and Statutory Scheme Governing Services. This is what you were showing us last time when we closed on Thursday.
Yes.
Let's look at that now.
But your lordships have, my lord, kindly, my lord, now come. My lord, your lordships have still in mind that what will they do if you don't have any control? So therefore, just to show that the steering, clutch, gear, brake, direction is theirs.
All right, we'll see whether what they have and what.
There is something, my lord,
Anyway,
seriously wrong if still they say we can't function.
Para 59, let's get on.
Yes.
Para 59 now. है ना?
Lord, one your lordship.
What you can do, solicitor, is you have already divided into subheadings. Take each of us, we'll go through each of them. You tell us broadly the gist of what you are saying and you can make your argument on that in each of those from 59 onwards.
Lord,
Para
51, your lordship.
59 is the constitutional scheme that you're talking
No,
about.
Lord, 51, my lord, if your lordship.
Okay.
How, Lord, the president has made, my lord, the transaction of business rules,
Oh,
how the
yes.
officers will follow, will work.
All right. That
That
according
is
to
a
the
direct bearing, my
that
lord, on
TBR shows that they work actually under the minister concerned.
concern, my lord. And he judges their competence, ability, leadership quality, sincerity, etc., my lord. There are several attributes. The council shall be collectively responsible for all the execution orders issued by any department in the name of Lieutenant Governor and contracts made in the name of the President in connection with the administration of the capital, whether such orders or contracts are authorized or not. And two, without prejudice to the provisions of Sub-Rule 1, the minister in charge of the department shall be primarily responsible for disposal of business pertaining to that power. You have the power to do. 14. The decision of council relating to each proposal shall be separately recorded and after approval by the chief minister or the minister presiding shall be placed with the record of the proposal. After approval of the chief minister or the minister presiding, the decision of the council as approved shall be forwarded to the by the secretary to the council to the lieutenant governor. My lord, that is for sub-article 4. Differ and refer. 2. My lord, I am giving facts, my lord, because I have chosen not to give facts through media. The media carried an article that out of 7, I'm sorry, my lord, kindly, I'm making this with a sense
Yes,
of
sir.
responsibility.
Yes, sir.
That out of 7 difference, 5 are in this regime. My lord, I am ready to place before your lordships what were the differences.
Seven difference.
Which
Lord,
were
I said that from,
Oh, okay.
which were referred to the president.
my lord, that right from, my lord, 2012 till date, 18,000 files came for differ and refer power. 18,000 file cleared, nothing, my lord, it's just, my lord, files. Only 7 times the LG differed, 12 till date. 5 times, according to them, during this regime. That is true. That's a fact. They could not bring it by way of an affidavit. It came by way of a news item, which I avoided doing. But if your lordship wants to be satisfied that intervention differing and reference to precedent was a mandate, I'm ready to place the files before your lordship. Well, thereby the file goes to the LG for that power of differ and refer, not for anything. Where a proposal has been approved by the council and approved, record of the decision has been communicated to the LG, the minister concerned shall take necessary action to give effect to the decision. Well, that again minister will take that and direct the secretaries and his staff. If the department concerned are not in agreement regarding such a proposal, the minister in charge of any of the department may, if he wishes to proceed with the proposal, direct that the proposal be submitted to chief minister for order or direction or for laying it before the council. Their internal disputes, there can be two ministries involved, there may be difference of views. Then it goes to the honorable chief minister and if necessary to the council. 15. Except as otherwise provided by or under these rules, proposals or matters may be disposed of by or under the authority of the minister in charge, who may, by means of standing orders, give such directions as he thinks fit for the disposal of proposals or matters in his department. Copies of such standing orders shall be forwarded to the LG and the chief minister, provided that such standing orders shall not relate to the statutory powers conferred under any law upon the officials. There are some revisional powers, etc., given to the secretaries under various laws. Obviously, there can't be standing orders that are quasi-judicial powers. Then 16, minister shall by means of standing orders arrange with the secretary of the department what matters or classes of matters are to be brought to his personal notice. Your lordship knows, entire nation, all files do not go to the ministers, whether it's union, state or union territory. But minister can say that these files will have to be given to me for my personal. Otherwise, it is rooted within the administrative, bureaucratic hierarchy. Copies of such standing orders shall be forwarded to the LG and the chief minister. Every Monday, or if it is a holiday on the next working day, the secretary shall submit to the minister in charge a statement showing the particulars of important proposals or matters disposed of in the department by the minister and the secretary and other officers during the preceding week. A copy of the said statement shall be simultaneously submitted to the lieutenant governor and the chief minister. Thus, the functional control for undertaking the governmental business lies absolutely with the minister concerned, and for this purpose, concerned IAS officers and all other officers report to the minister concerned. Lieutenant Governor has no role except constitutionally provided under Article 239AA4. Differ and differ. In case of IAS officers does not follow the provisions of TOBR, then he is liable for disciplinary action for violation of provisions of Rule 3 of All India Service Conduct Rules. You immediately bring it to the notice of the MHA. This is what it is to happen. That's the scheme. That's the scheme of the Constitution and scheme of the rules, service rules, that this man is not behaving properly with me. You take departmental action. Then 53. It is submitted that if any minister concerned finds that an IAS officer or any other officer is violating provisions of TOBR or any conduct rules, he may report it to the disciplinary authority, that is MHA, through Lieutenant Governor, as undisputably the disciplinary authority is MHA. While the appellant is making claims using hypothetical situations that the elected government would not be able to implement its policy without having control over transfer and posting of the officers, the above mentioned TBR, Lord 55, your lordships can, Lord, ignore, kindly come to 56. So there is one more check. 56. Kindly bear with me, this is not a matter where your lordships are deciding about the capital of the nation. So I would be failing in my duty, if I curtail something which I think it to be relevant and appropriate for your lordship's assistance.
No, that is why, Mr. Mehta, we are hearing you and listening you.
No, your lordship.
Otherwise, despite your 1 hour has already gone, we are just listening because very important matter is there. Therefore,
I'm grateful.
but still you have to consider that
and
time constraint.
I'm skipping what is not relevant or what is repetition. I'm skipping. It is most respectfully submitted that apart from the above referred legal position showing services falling within the domain of Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Supreme Court, with its judgment dated so-and-so and writ petition so-and-so as directed, constitution of a civil service board consisting of chief secretary and other high-ranking officers, In case of Delhi, CSP consists of Chief Secretary, the second senior most IAS officer in GNCTD, and Secretary Services, not again GNCTD. GNCTD to guide and advise with regard to transfers and posting, etc., to the Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor decides the transfers and postings of All India Service Officers on the basis of recommendations made by the CSP. Lord, I have annexed the copy. The following framework ensures check and balances in the system to administer the capital wherein disciplinary control lies with the MHA, transfer and postings lies with Lieutenant Governor, and functional control lies with the. Look, this is the harmonious balance with the Constitution and the service rules have provided for. And it is operating since 1992, which now my learned friend wants to change without showing under which authority of the Constitution he has the power. Now, my lord, kindly see, kindly come to my lord, 62. The above referred three categories of central services are the categories for the entire country. So far as Delhi is concerned, its administrative setup is as per the following hierarchy. Chief Secretary, then Additional Chief Secretary or Principal Secretaries and Secretaries, then DENIC officers and DAS officers. This is the broad administrative hierarchy. Now kindly see the provisions. This is again the heart of the matter. How the central government constitutionally and as per statute empowered for recruitment, posting, transfers, etc. Lord, your lordships have seen 239(1), Article 239(1). Lord, I am not reading it. Please read, my lord, Rule 46 of Transaction of Business Rules, framed by the Honorable President. Lord, there are blanks, my lord, para. I will fill it. My lord, it's there already in the my lord paper book. With respect to persons serving in connection with the administration of NCT, the Lieutenant Governor shall exercise such powers and perform such functions as may be entrusted to him under the provisions of the rules and orders regulating the conditions of service of such persons or by any other order of the President in consultation with the Chief Minister, if it is so provided under any order issued by the President under Article 239 of the Constitution. My lord, kindly mark one thing. There is a provision made by the President which empowers the Lieutenant Governor with regard to transfer postings, etc. And if there is any provision which requires him to consult the Honorable Chief Minister, he will consult the Honorable Chief Minister. But bear one fact in mind, there is one direction or order of the President in the form of TOBR, because something would turn when I show the scheme of the GNCTD. Notwithstanding anything contained in Sub-Rule 1, the Lieutenant Governor shall consult the UPSC on all matters on which the Commission is required to be consulted under Clause 3 of Article 320, and in every such case he shall not take any order otherwise than in accordance with the advice.
We'll take a